and one cannot become a duplicate of the other. This is not possible. This would be to deny our own inner nature. So it should be a relationship of two free spirits who love each other, who enjoy each other's company, but one should not shadow the other, and neither should lose his own identity in that relationship. But I would say that the greatest opportunity for spiritual growth in a relationship is the fact that we confront our ego. Because we are given exactly the partner that we need for our spiritual growth. That is both on the positive, in the positive sense, and in a negative sense. That is, whatever positive qualities we have developed until now in our spiritual evolution will be reflected in this partner. And whatever we have come to learn in this lifetime and to confront within ourselves, fears and attachments and desires and doubts, we will also confront through the behavior of this person. So I imagine that the starting of a relationship is like two very strangely formed gears, if you like, with pointed edges which do not match. And those two gears try to function harmoniously, but their edges, because they have different programmings, a different past, different needs, desires, and beliefs, in the beginning conflict and create a great deal of friction. And we have two choices when we begin to feel this friction which is being created between our two egos, our two different personalities. One choice is to harden those corners, those edges, and to remain in our own fort, our own castle, not giving in and becoming even more extreme in those qualities which conflict. And that usually happens when we doubt ourselves and we begin playing the game, who is right? Many times we think, we believe that we are fighting about how we should raise our children, or what we should do with our money, or where we should take our vacation. But the reality is that we are fighting about who is more powerful and who is right. And those other things are not so important as to it be verified that I am right, I know better, or that my will overcome or will stand here. The other option is to begin to round our corners, those edges, so that this mingling, that is to begin to modify those aspects of ourselves which conflict, and to become more rounded and more rounded. Because the reality is that as souls, we are round and don't conflict with anyone. Only as personalities do we conflict. Our souls are never in conflict with anyone. Only our personality can be in conflict, and that's because the personality is not yet enough evolved. And so we attract a mate which has exactly the qualities which we need to confront in order for those weaknesses which we have come to work on in this lifetime are brought to the surface, and we see them and work on them. We have the choice. We have free will, however. We can leave the relationship. We can stay in the relationship and become even more extreme and more separated from the other person, or we can work on this inner transformation which will make us more and more harmonious in the contact with this person. That requires deep self-analysis. It also requires communication skills, the ability to be able to communicate effectively with the other person and listen to the other person. And it requires a certain amount of clarity of mind and a conscious choice that I want to get free from my ego, and I don't want to play ego games in this relationship. I want to be honest. I want to be just. I don't want to do something to the other that I would not like that other to do to me. And I want to experience that level of unconditional love, which I believe someday I may be able to experience in my spiritual process, so that this marriage relationship becomes a stepping stone towards unconditional love, where I learn to love one other person as he is. After, of course, I've tried 20 years to change him, we come to the conclusion that, well, I guess I better accept him as he is. And accepting the other as he is, or as she is, helps us to get free from all of these fears and addictions and beliefs, which are actually obstacles to our spiritual evolution. Accepting someone as he is doesn't mean that we let him do whatever he wants to us. It means that, that we maintain a feeling of love and unity with him, whatever he does, regardless of as to whether we have to become more assertive or more confrontive or more demanding at certain times, and at less times giving in and surrendering. That's completely independent from the feeling of love and acceptance. Is that we love our child even when we say to the child, no, you can't do that. We don't stop loving him. So there are times when, out of love, we have to become even more confrontive and not respond to something which the other person asks. So we're not talking about what we're going to do, we're talking about an inner feeling of love for that person, whatever he or she may do. Now there are a number of conflicts which I have seen in persons over the years. I would like to speak about a few of them so that you can have an idea what I mean by need conflicts in relationships. One conflict could be the conflict between one's need for affection, or for more affection than that which is being expressed, and the other's difficulty in expressing affection. The one who needs more affection begins to doubt the other's love and starts pressuring the other in various ways to express more affection. The one who is being pressured feels danger because he's being pressured to do something which is difficult for him or her for some reason. It could be childhood programming, it could be various fears that he has for some reason. And feeling that intimidation closes off even more, which creates an even greater sense of rejection in the other. And this creates this vicious circle in which one is pressuring the other, feeling rejection, and the other who's feeling the pressure is closing off or even becoming aggressive in order to protect himself. The same can happen on the sexual level, that one, as the relationship goes on, one may have more need for sexual contact than the other. And when he doesn't receive that, he receives rejection. Rejection of himself, or rejection of his manliness, or her womanness. And this creates the need for the affirmation of ourselves through the sexual acceptance from the other. Pressuring the other makes the other fear because for some reason he doesn't want to have this contact at this point. It could be a number of reasons. It could be that they're not feeling emotionally close to us, or that there are some hurt feelings, or it could be spiritual reasons or physical reasons. It doesn't matter. And this creates a vicious circle of greater rejection in the one, a feeling of pressure and fear in the other. And if they're not able to communicate about this in an effective way, it can create a great deal of misconception and separation between them.